Mortgage Connection.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion, delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots, you know the actions you can take, how your family, your business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest and repeat offender. Larry Kasanoff is with us. Welcome.
Hi, Ron. Good to be back.
Glad to have you with us. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we are celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Now, we're going to go through some of our typical stuff quick today because there's a lot going on. National Underwear Day. I don't know about that one. Although nowadays, with all these people that are working remotely, I wonder if you might have to get designer underwear. I don't think so. Work Like a Dog Day. Okay, that's any day that ends in Y if you're really going to work. And being that we've beaten anorexia, and it might be even good for today. National Oyster Day. Are you an oyster eater? I'm just, doesn't excite me too much. But I'm going to give you the question of the day. We do have one. Are you using AI in your life? Are you using AI in your life? What is that? Automated intelligence or artificial intelligence? Are you using it? If you're if you're watching us live right now, put that in the comments section. If you're listening to us on the radio, yell at the radio. We will hear you. We get that put into us all the time. Let's take a look and see what the markets are doing today. Do we want to see what the markets are doing today? Dow Jones Industrial Average now down 803 points. S&P 500 is down 123. The NASDAQ is down 461 points.
Ow!
Yeah, that's painful. Oil down 47 cents a barrel. Why? Well, that's what we're going to talk about here at the beginning of the broadcast. I'm going to let you know that. But I'm also going to tell you that there is always a silver lining. 10-year Treasury right now is at 3.8. And if you recall, we were up in the upper fours talking about, are we going to get that 10-year Treasury? Is it going to get to 5? And now we're looking at 3.8 heading downward. And that is a big benefit if you're thinking about buying a house. If you're thinking about restructuring a house, I'm going to ask you this question. Would you rather have a rate quoted to you at the beginning of the downturn or at its lowest level? Something to ponder, because a lot of people are going to go out there and they're just going to try and get involved and move right now. And I'm going to submit it might be a little bit early to be making any kind of movements. But here's the issue, and I've talked about this before, is what's your number? Understanding your number. What is it? How many in dollars? Don't tell me percentages, because I'm oversized. I've beaten anorexia. I can't go to Ruth Chris. I can't go to Mastro's. I can't go to my favorite breakfast joints and tell them I've got a 3% mortgage rate. They don't care. Now, if I go in there and I've got a couple of Benjamin Franklins in my pocket, now I can get something. Some places, I guess you need more than a couple. But what did I digress? What's the number? How many dollars do you need to save to make it worth your while to redo your interest rate? Now, we started seeing the stock market drop last Thursday. It continued on Friday. Today, it's gone down even more. If you look at what happened overseas over the weekend, yes, I have no life, so I was watching the Nikkei, and I saw that it went down 12%, although we're looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average down about 2%, S&P down 2%. The markets will always, the only thing I can tell you always happens in the markets is they overreact. They always overreact. So don't get too excited. If you like the stocks you were holding last Monday, don't sell them when the market's down. That's dumb, because they're going to likely go back up. If you liked these company last week, what changed? Is there a reason you don't like it today? So don't go there and don't get persuaded or dissuaded. Don't overreact to any of this stuff. The market was down over 1,000 points earlier this morning, as measured by the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Now it's down 772. Where will it end up? Well, if I knew that, I wouldn't be doing a morning radio show. Or if you're listening to us in the afternoon. If I knew exactly what the market's going to do, I'd be trading the market all day long. Nobody knows. For every person that says the market's going to continue dropping, there's another person saying the market is going to go up. So find your own story, have a long-term horizon, and don't get too excited. Now, we've got a lot to get excited about right now. You think about it, we've been getting lies from the Bureau of Labor Statistics about jobs. It's finally starting to come out, the truth, right? And I've been telling you this for months and months and months, not because I'm so smart. I just get good data from people I pay. I don't go and listen to ABC and MSNBC and CNN or Fox or any of those, because they've all got an agenda. You got to go and do your own research. You've got to get information from people that you trust that are giving out good information, not their opinions, right? When I hear somebody say that Trump lied or Biden this or Kamala that, those are their opinions. Trump got shot. That's a fact. We can go with that. Biden looks like he's my dad died with dementia. I would say that President Biden has some sort of a cognitive issue. I think that's a fact, right? So the other things are people's opinions. Now, here's some things that are going on that are going to affect the market. Number one, a lot of people are losing their jobs right now. We've been telling you for months and months, rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. It is a loan program that can protect you if you lose a job. Okay? That's the bottom line right there. There is a lot of turmoil in the Middle East. That's a fact. It doesn't matter whether you like it or whose side you're on, or the fact that, I agree with that with Benjamin Netanyahu's comments that there's a bunch of useful idiots. They don't understand what's going on. I agree with that. That was his opinion. It's my opinion. It may or may not be your opinion. Fact is that in the last 10 days, 3 leaders of the terrorist organizations in the Middle East have been killed. Okay, that's a fact. Iran is going to retaliate. My opinion. I can't say it's a fact because it hasn't happened and I don't have inside information. But with people believing that, it creates more volatility in the stock market. And then you look and you say, okay, what has President Biden told us about it? He is the president of the United States, leader of the free world. Nothing. So it leads to speculation. What has Kamala Harris told us about it? Nothing. I'm just throwing that out there that, you don't have leadership. It leads to speculation, and that leads to volatility. Just throwing all those things out there. We're going to watch these things. Don't overreact. We're going to give you a little bit more about what's going on in the Mortgage Minute when we come back. But more importantly, one of the things that's really a good part of my job is, and we didn't know about this going into our when we plan the programs, but we've got a gentleman coming on. Larry Kasanoff is with us, and he does a lot of things dealing with a good time and having fun and free spirit, carefree. So think about those things, and we're going to chat about that when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
As the economy slows, do you know anyone worried about job loss? At Siegel Lending Team, we offer the Home Select Loan. Think of it as a financial superhero cape for homeowners with good income and credit. It not only saves your home, but also throws a life ring to your credit score. Because who needs stress when you can have peace of mind? Let's secure your future with a smile. Visit rsrhomeselect.com. rsrhomeselect.com. NMLS 217037.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, and every day at this time, OBMMI. They provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. They don't tell us points paid, points received, or APR. They give us the number you need to put in your mortgage calculator to find out exactly what your principal and interest payment will be. And if you don't have a mortgage calculator, we have a mobile app for free. RonIsMyLender.com. RonIsMyLender.com. I don't have to lend you anything. You just get the mobile app for free. 30-year code. Look at that. It's all, I love it when we see a lot of down arrows. This is one of the few places where the down arrow makes a whole lot of sense. And we like seeing down arrows. So let's take a look and see what the numbers are. Josh has them right there on the screen for us. Conforming 30-year fixed rate, 6.429. Jumbo 30-year fixed, 6.756. FHA 30-year fixed, 6.287. VA, best loan on the market, 5.87. That's a 30-year fixed. Best loan on the market for our veterans who want to put no money down. I will tell you the Home Select product, rsrhomeselect.com, best product out there if you've got good credit. And the USDA loan, that one there was also down. That's our rural areas, 6.279 is that loan amount. If you want our market commentary, we put that out as early as the data allows every single morning, business morning, weekday mornings. rsrmarketminute.com, rsrmarketminute.com. Let's take a look and see what's going on in the markets right now. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, let's look at the S&P 500 is down 114 points. Getting better right there. So we're watching all of that. And then we look and see if my computer screen will come back. We were down tremendously, dramatically earlier in the day on the 10-year Treasury, and now it's up 2 basis points. The mortgage-backed security down 16 basis. Is it down up 16 or is it up 16? Okay, I got to go back and see it because it's not showing up where it was on my screen, and it drives me crazy. So it's down 16 basis points, which means interest rates are up. Remember, the interest rates always move the exact opposite rate of what's going on in the bond market. Not the treasury market, but in the mortgage-backed security market. It's just mathematics. So what's driving all of this? Why is it happening? Well, it's got to do with the people are starting looking at the unemployment numbers. And way back when, early this year, we told you when the unemployment number gets to 4.2, that's going to be a sign that, we've got a shock to the Federal Reserve voting members. Well, Friday we get to 4.3. It's not a shock if you've been listening to Ron Siegel Radio, because we've been talking about that for a long time. The other number, and again, a lot of people don't understand these numbers. They've got a life. They're not like me. So they haven't looked at the U6 number. Bureau of Labor Statistics has this whole chart. Unemployment comes from the U3. And that comes from the household survey. It's not the same as the non-farm payroll number. I digress. But U6 is unemployment and underemployment. That grew by 0.4% in the month of July. That's now at, I think it's like 7.6, give or take. There's a lot of people that are underemployed. And what's happening right now, and again, no one's going to tell you this because they don't want you to hear these things. What's happening right now is there's a lot of bankruptcies being filed. There's a lot of people that are not getting their jobs. They've maxed out their credit cards. They've maxed out their buy now, pay later, and they're needing more jobs. So that's why when even the jobs that were created, a tremendous amount of them were part-time jobs. I know my son has 3 of them. Just throw that out there for you. So when people are maxed out, then what happens? Then they default on the credit cards. The company, they can't spend as much. So companies have a problem and they're going to have to make trade-offs. That's what's going on right now in the economy. And people just didn't want to face the fact that when you get the Census Bureau, who does a mandatory survey of jobs and finds out that we're not creating jobs, and you get the media that doesn't report that, and then you get the Bureau of Labor Statistics that says we're creating a lot of jobs. Here's a big number that came out on Friday. So the Bureau of Labor Statistics says that we created tens of thousands, 100,000 jobs out there on Friday in the small business sector. Okay, now then you look at it and you say, okay, they say that we created all these jobs in small business, but the ADP, who actually writes the checks on these jobs, they came out and said that we lost 7,000 jobs in the same group. How can that be? Well, it can't happen. That's the whole issue right there, is that we've been getting bad data, and we get people making decisions based on bad data. Well, you're going to have a problem. And that's what's been going on for quite some time now. And I think, I just found the number here. So the Bureau of Labor Statistics says that we had 246,000 jobs created in the small business arena. ADP says we lost 7,000. That's a 253,000 job swing. And the Bureau of Labor Statistics said we added 114,000 jobs. We really legitimately probably lost 100-some thousand jobs, but they're not telling us that. And when the Census Bureau does their numbers, that's when we're going to find that out. Keep listening to Ron Siegel Radio. We will give you information that nobody else is going to tell you about. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Today, we're thrilled to have Larry Kasanoff back on the show. Larry is a visionary producer and entrepreneur with a storied career in Hollywood. He's here to discuss his groundbreaking new venture, Supergiant Studios, where you can star in a short film with a famous Hollywood celebrity in his latest book, Malibu Blonde, which has skyrocketed to #1 on Amazon. Let's get some insights. Larry Kasanoff, welcome, sir.
Hi, Ron. Nice to be back.
Glad to have you with us. So, Supergiant Studios, what is this?
So given the what you just went through with all the bad news, my mission in entertainment in my movies and my other ventures is to bring back fun. And there are 2 ways I want to talk about it today. So the first is Supergiant Studios. As a movie producer, making things like Mortal Kombat, people always say to me, the #1 question I get is, boy, that must be amazing. How if I could be on set for one day, if I could be in a movie for one day. It's a fantasy. Could we do that? We started thinking, maybe we can make this come true. And so long story short, we did. So clients can now come to us and tell us their fantasy. I want to tell my life story. I want to do this. And we will create for them an actual short film, 7 to 10 minutes long. And we will get a famous Hollywood celebrity to act opposite them. and we will cast them, write it, direct it, produce it, and give them, for something they can have forever, a short film starring them. So, for example, we did one recently with Tom Arnold. Tom I know well from True Lies, which I'm executive producer of. And so Tom came and acted with a woman who has an incredible life story, and it's funny and it's cute and it's sweet. And actually, the film now has become the basis for a charitable foundation that woman is starting about suicide prevention. And so star in a short film with a Hollywood celebrity. Contact us at supergiantstudios.net, and we will do everything. Just let us know, and our team will talk to you. And this is a once in a lifetime event. This is quite game changing.
That sounds pretty fascinating. I mean, it's I could just see all the thoughts of people that go through this. But I love the idea that in a day and age like this, where there's so many people that are antagonizing one another,
yeah,
that you're doing stuff that's all about having a good time and fun. And I'm not a big fan of movies, but when I've gone to the movies, it's like 2 or 3 hours of escape from reality.
Yeah, that's why I got into movies. When I was a kid, my father took me to see Thunderball, and I thought, oh my God, this is great. And ever since, the way I go and the movies I make are all about escapism. And so you forget the world, you forget your troubles, and you go to someplace else. The magic of movies still exists to be able to do that. I think it's fantastic. And it's
when you talk about doing a movie like this, then it kind of brings back to our question of the day. And Josh I forgot the exact terminology that I put on there. Are you using AI? Are you using AI in your life today? Are these done with people, or is it all done through artificial intelligence?
No. We get the people, but AI is fantastic for the film business because, for example, the client is paying for this. We try and keep the cost as affordable as we can, although it's not cheap. And with AI now, all of a sudden, let's say we want, Ron Siegel establishing shot, Castle on the Moon. Well, now we can make that shot with AI much more affordable than we could before. And so it helps not only in our short films, but in our regular feature films. The problem with movies are that people are a little too negative about the subject matter, and they cost too much money. AI helps. It's a great tool. I've been involved in a lot of technological innovations in the movie business. I've been fortunate, and usually they make the whole thing better. People get scared, but AI is great for the movies, and it's great for our short film business because but the people are real, the celebrities are real. That's not fake.
Interesting. So that means, so if you're dealing with real celebrities, that means it's got to be it's not for the those of moderate means.
Well, it costs as much. It depends on the project, but it costs as much as a really nice vacation. And so you think to yourself, the average cost of a feature film today is $500,000 to $1 million a minute. This is way, 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 way less than that. But it costs about as much as going on a really nice vacation, except you have this film. And then if you want, we'll enter the film in film festivals all over the world. So now you get your film, you're on the set. A lot of people have told us it was the best day of their lives. And then later, they're flying to the French Riviera to see their movie in a film festival that they might win. It's a great experience. And what we're finding is people have really interesting stories to tell. The clients, we thought we put them in science fiction stories or whatever. A lot of their lives are fictionalized for the story. And who's becoming our biggest group of clients? Really high-end real estate professionals. They especially in Southern California, they seem to like the idea because it's a great bucket list thing to do, but also because it distinguishes them in the marketplace. Now, rather than having an ad, they have an actual movie with them in a celebrity. So we're getting a lot of inquiries from your crowd.
Well, something, that's a great market there, because so many people in the real estate world have gotten introduced to the idea of writing their own book.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right? They use that kind of as a business card. Well, now they've got a business card that can be their own movie.
That's exactly right. It's nothing like it in the world. It's never been done before.
Wow, it's pretty fascinating. When we come back, I want to talk to you about that. I want to talk about your new book, Malibu Blonde.
My second way to bring back fun.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that one as well. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, the real-time real estate segment today, being brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. What every homeowner should know about their equity. Curious about selling your home? Understanding how much equity you have is the first step to unlocking what you can afford when you move. And since home prices rose so much over the past few years, most people have much more equity than they may realize. Here's a deeper look at what you need to know if you're ready to cash in on your investment and put your equity toward your next home. Home equity, what is it? How much do you have? Home equity is the difference between how much you owe on your house and what it's worth. For example, if your house is worth $400,000, I know that's probably not here in Southern California, but we use small numbers to make it easy. And you owe $200,000 on your mortgage, your equity would be $200,000. Recent data from the census and ADAM shows Americans have significant equity right now. In fact, more than 2 out of 3 homeowners have either completely paid off their mortgages. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed, you're going to see that is in green on the chart, or have at least 50% equity in their homes. That's in blue on the chart. Over 2/3 have paid off their mortgage or have at least 50% equity. Today, more homeowners are getting a larger return on their homeownership investments when they sell. And if you have that much equity, it can be a powerful force to fuel your next move. What you should do next. If you're thinking about selling your house, it's important to know how much equity you have, as well as what that means for your home sale and potential earnings. The best way to get a clear picture is to work with an agent while also talking to a tax professional or financial advisor. That's called your household board of directors. A team of experts can help you understand your specific situation and guide you forward. And that's why we talk about all the time, rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com, so you can actually tap into that equity and maybe get a lower effective interest rate. Bottom line, home prices have gone up, which means your equity probably has too. Give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, so we can chat about what's in your best interest. That is the real-time real estate segment, brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Continuing our conversation, Larry Kasanoff is with us, author and filmmaker and purveyor of fun.
I like that.
Can we coin that one, Larry?
Yeah, that's a good one. I like it. I get cards made up right away.
There we go. Malibu Blonde. So it's a book, and I got a little summary of it. Go ahead and tell us about it.
So my other life, I'm a photographer, and Malibu Blonde is a coffee table book full of gorgeous models, kind of a throwback to the 90s vibe with sun-kissed aura in the background of gorgeous models on the beach in Malibu. And there are 2 missions with Malibu Blonde.
What a tough life having to take those pictures, Larry.
One, every penny I make from Malibu Blonde book and the pictures in it goes to support endangered elephant charities. And our second mission is to bring back fun. And people ask me a lot, well, what do beautiful models have to do with elephants? And I kind of think of it as, well, it's one group of gorgeous creatures helping another. I think my next book will be half-naked elephants, and we'll give all the money to models. So, make it fair. But it's a great project, and it's been really fun to shoot. And it just came out, and its first 2 days, it went to #1 new book and #1 bestseller on Amazon. And we're having an event for it at Zinke in Malibu on August 17th, Saturday at 2:00. Please come, schmooze, drink, meet the models, chat with me, get book signed if you want. But it's really taking off because why? Because of the bring back fun. I think the elephants too. But I mean, it's great. Malibu is iconic. You go anywhere in the world and you mention Malibu, and people immediately think of young, pretty, playful, gorgeous women and movie stars and puppy dogs and red convertibles and football games on the beach. And I wanted to bring back that sense. I wanted to make people smile, and I wanted to make elephants smile, which is why we're helping them. That's what we're doing it. So Malibu Blonde, Bring Back Fun. You can buy it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble or anywhere books are sold.
And we put a link because that way it's nice and easy for you. rsrlinks.com/Malibu.
There you go.
And that'll go right to the Amazon page, so you can get get Larry's book. So it's a coffee table book. So it's something that's it's a little bigger.
It's a bigger coffee table book, all pictures of, as I said, gorgeous models having a great time on the beach in Malibu. It's sexy, it's playful, it's fun. It's kind of like a 90s vibe. You know, we don't do this enough. We're too uptight now. And again, as I said in the last segment, my mission is to bring back fun. And Malibu Blonde is doing that. That's the response we're getting. It's fun, it's playful. It makes you happy. It makes you want to run out to the beach in Malibu. No matter where in the world you are, take a little bit of Malibu home.
You know, in Malibu, always, like you said earlier, Malibu, you just think about fun in Malibu, aside from the unfortunate times where we hear about Malibu and the fires and things that they have there, but it seems like a great, great place. And maybe I'm a little prejudiced. I love the beach.
Me too.
So the idea of being out there on a beach has always got to be great.
It's a long story, but I moved to Malibu for what I thought was 3 months, 15 years ago, and stayed. And anywhere you go in the world, I mean, I've been to rural China, I've been to Uzbekistan, Jordan, and you mentioned Malibu, immediately that image is world famous, and everyone thinks of it that way. That just, Beach Boys music and girls in convertibles and puppy dogs, and it's playful and it's sexy. And that kind of playful, sexy, happy fun, we don't have too much anymore. So we wanted to bring it back, and that's what we did in the book.
Yeah, I looked at some of the notes that we have on it. And, it brings back, I just saw last week, I saw an interview with Mike Love from the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
And you probably, well, maybe you go bring your two together, Larry, and do a short documentary with Mike Love and have the book on the table there.
Well, it's funny you say that. So, I know Mike, and I know Mike really well. Our dear friend, Michael Lloyd, who's a music genius, producer, composer, music supervisor, has worked with Mike for years. And Michael Lloyd and Mike Love and I have talked about doing something more with Malibu Blonde. And we're actually now, not with Mike Love per se, but my company and Michael Lloyd, we're developing a Malibu Blonde movie, which is going to be a musical set on the beach in Malibu.
Interesting. Well,
Yeah.
I had the opportunity one time to meet Mike Love, and it was just by chance. We were at the same restaurant, and my dad actually went to school with Mike Love.
He's a great guy.
And ironically enough, my dad, when the two of them were chatting, and obviously, I'm not sure if Mike Love even remembered my dad, but my dad used to share that no one ever had a clue that he could sing, and he was the most introverted person in high school that you'd ever want to meet.
Oh, he's funny.
So,
no, he's a funny guy, and you got to hand it. I mean, their music defined a whole culture, a whole generation. That sound is still iconic. So you think about it, driving up PCH in a red convertible with a gorgeous girl and a surfboard and then going to the beach. That's my book.
Something, I might have to take a picture for it because I don't have a red convertible. I've got a gray one. I've got a beautiful wife, so we could take a picture, and you might have to AI me out of it because that's
cracking. No, you got a little kind of Hawaiian shirt going on there. You're good.
And I love Hawaii, so there we go. But Malibu, something that sounds like, you got to really enjoy your career, Larry, because all these things. So many people are dealing with challenges, and your whole career is about fun. I mean, it
is fun, and I don't want to make it. I don't want to be too. It can be challenging to get these things done, but at least one of the things that keeps me going is I'm having a great time doing it, and I know that when we're finished it, people will have a great time watching it. And I really think, in all seriousness, the world needs more fun. So really one of our mottos and what our main goal with entertainment is to bring back fun.
Well, and the other part of it that I really admire, and anybody that listens to Ron Siegel Radio knows that I end the show with the exact same phrase every single time. And I don't know if you know, a friend of mine, David Meltzer, he allowed me to steal a line out of his book. And I guess I shouldn't say steal it because he gave me permission. Right, is make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun.
There you go. I like
What more
that.
could you ask for, right? I mean,
What more could you ask for? Exactly.
you know, and one time I asked David, I said, why wouldn't you have it switched around a little bit to help a lot of people? And he said, Ron, I've been broke and I've had a lot of money. And if you make a lot of money, you can help a lot more people. So
That's fair.
yeah, it is fair. So, I mean, I'm really, it's exciting watching what you're doing here. And I'm sure glad that you're sharing it with us and our audience, because there's a lot in this world right now. And you and I were talking about this before we came live. There's a lot of things going on that people would never say face to face on social media. And I post a lot of jokes, and sometimes people get mad at me because they say it's, you know, it doesn't pertain to anything, but I don't care. You're having fun.
You know, I wrote another book about in the fall called A Touch of the Madness, which encourages people through movie business stories, fun stories, to embrace their crazy side, to be more creative and innovative. And I wrote it because I've never seen a time in my life when people are more scared to do what they want to do. People say, oh, I want to do this, it'll be fun, or they're scared. What if I offend someone? What if someone did? I can't do it. And so the whole point of A Touch of the Madness is to encourage people to pursue whatever that crazy goal they have that they think, oh, it's too much, I won't get it done, all of that. No, that's the one. You got to embrace the madness. And I think the fear, you and I talked about this earlier before the show started, the fear is what's driving bad things in the economy in the world. It's all fear. And by having fun and by going for your dreams and by embracing your madness, I think we can help conquer that.
That's amazing. We're going to continue our conversation with Larry Kasanoff when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
79% of all credit reports have errors that should be corrected through factual disputing. You could be saving thousands every year if your report was accurate. CreditSanitizer.com provides a free credit report audit when you furnish a specific $1 credit report. You can use this information to request corrections to your report and potentially save thousands of dollars. Get your free credit audit at CreditSanitizer.com. That's CreditSanitizer.com for a free credit report audit. CreditSanitizer.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Continuing our conversation today with Larry Kasanoff, we're chatting about a new book, a movie studio, and fun.
Ron, I wanted to show you a copy of the book.
Oh, that's really cool. Josh, make that full. Can you make that full screen, Josh? There we go.
The book than me, yeah. There you go, man.
I like, you know something, I like the book better than you too.
You know what? I'd be worried about you if you didn't. And this is our cover model, and here's my little statement about it, and the pictures of the book is all this kind of vibe.
You know, it's I'm glad that you're out there doing that, having the fun and bringing fun into our society. It's really needed. And, you know, where we have a country right now that's so divided, it's nice to see where there's somebody out there that's, you know, trying to unify under the banner of fun.
You know, we're developing a movie we're going to do soon, which is really challenging, called it's like The Hangover. It's like American Pie. Now, these kind of movies have been made for 70 years, except the last 10 because everyone got so conservative. Well, again, wait till you see this one, because it's just wild and funny and over the top, but it's sweet. And again, like what A Touch of the Madness, my book talks about, which is embrace your crazy idea. People say to us, it's the funniest script I've ever read, but can we do it? And if I showed you this 10 years ago, you wouldn't have blinked. The world goes in waves. It always goes in waves. What's happening in Hollywood today and in the world today happened in the 1950s. It happened in the 1500s. It happens. But so what we have to do is, you know, kind of battle against it. And as I said, my not battle, but my mission is to bring back fun with things like Malibu Blonde and Supergiant Studios And this movie I mentioned is called In the Pink. And almost all our projects have some element of escapism or fun or just have a great time.
You can go out there, and that's the idea right there. That's, I might even have to go to movies again if you start doing this stuff, Larry. Because it's about, we're comedy. You have to be all politically correct, and I'm not, but, go out there and just say what you say, be respectful, and get that, hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it is of escape from reality. Where do you see the industry going, Larry? What do you think is going to happen with these things?
Every 10 or 20 years, there's a moment in the film business where people think, oh no, when I got into the business, I got very lucky and I got a great job as home video was taking off. And people thought home video will ruin theatrical, and it made it bigger. And the same thing's happening now. People are just panicking. People love movies. What I think it's such a fascinating time because technology has allowed our movies, and will allow it more and more, to get to all these countries, which it never did. I mean, we've never really made a lot of money or had hit movies in places like India or Africa or Indonesia, and now we can. So I think the movie business is going to just explode based partly on technology, but partly on just the normal course of things globally. I think we're going to have global movies. Most of our movies now aren't really global. We say they are because they go to Western Europe and Japan and Korea and the United States, but they're not. And I think they will be. So I think we're going to have a huge renaissance. And if you look at the movie business this summer, the box office is breaking records. People want to be entertained. Maybe certain kind of, Twitter people want to be negative, but the people in general, all over the world, want to have fun. They want to be entertained. So unlike a lot of my compadres out here, I am incredibly bullish on the movie business. I've seen this before. It's happened before throughout history of the movie business. You had a little dip. We had a pandemic for 4 or 5 years and strikes. That's what happened to the movie business. Now those are over.
Do you think that the advent of the iPhone and Google, whatever their phone is and whatnot, is it going to push you even further? Because everybody and their uncle can go and make a short movie, albeit probably not that great, but it might get. I look at somebody like me. I have no clue what I'm doing on any of this stuff. I have, thankfully, Josh knows what he's doing. We've got almost 10 million views on YouTube. And we just go out there and we just do it. We say what we want to say, and we don't edit. We don't care. Well, Josh edits, but I don't even know what he does in the background. But is that going to push people like you to have to come with the next greatest because you want to stay ahead of the home guy like us?
I mean, listen, our job since day one in the movie business in 1910 has become to come to the next greatest. You're always competing against something. When laptops came out, there was all this notion that, oh, now everyone's going to be Shakespeare. Well, everyone wasn't Shakespeare. It's hard to be great. So we're always, in a sense, competing against something. And yes, there's a lot of information out there. But, if you look at Instagram, during the pandemic, we couldn't cast like we normally did. So we thought, okay, well, what can we do to find, we like discovering people in movies. So we started using Instagram to cast people. And you know who we cast? Dallas, the cover model. Not only is she a cover model in Malibu Blonde, Dallas is going to star in that movie I just told you about, Cut in the Pink. So all of a sudden, this idea of, well, gee, maybe is Instagram our enemy? No, it's not our enemy. It's our friend. We find talent from it. People emerge from it. We can promote movies from it. No, people want to go to the movies. And to go to the movies is still quite a challenge to make a great movie. I don't care who you are or how many iPhones you have, but that's great. What happens in the entertainment business is the following. The pie is getting bigger and the slices are getting smaller. So if you can, be in the pie business. I started Mortal Kombat movies 20-something years ago, and now I'm on my 20th Mortal Kombat project, and we've made movies, video games, TV shows, animation, live tours, music. We had the first million-selling electronic dance music album. So you have to be in the pie business but it's getting bigger. But no, all this stuff is great. And every time this happens, people say, oh, new technology is going to ruin movies. No, it makes them bigger. And that's what's going to happen here. Couldn't be more bullish in business.
So being that we focus a lot on business on the show. You bring up the comment or the thought of Instagram. Is that going to bring more people to light? I mean, it used to be that you had to know somebody to find somebody to get found. Now you could probably scroll through Instagram and find 10 models that might fit your need, and maybe you won't have to pay as much, and maybe it'll bring costs down for everything. Do you think that'll happen?
Well, I'm not sure that the cost factor is different because we're going to pay them the same as we pay anybody. But yeah, like as I said, we found Dallas that way, and we found 2 others that way. So it's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, anything that's a great new wealth of talent. We're always looking for new and interesting talent. So Instagram has been our great casting director.
Yeah, but you know something. I mean, you say that you pay them like you pay anybody, but you know, I'll probably date myself here, but you know, was it Cheryl Crawford probably made a lot more money than I don't know, maybe you might have paid Dallas, right? I mean, or you know, some of these a big name celebrity. You know, there was some movies, I guess, 20 years ago where you had people that were just being discovered that didn't get paid these multi-million-dollar contracts to do a movie.
Well, no one gets paid a multi-million-dollar contract for their first movie.
Right.
I mean, and you know, we do have there's a great actors union called SAG, and they have minimums, and so we do pay all that. But the really interesting thing is, if you look at Instagram, which everyone talks about social media for how bad it is, look at the fact that someone who can live anywhere in the world has the shot of filming themselves doing something funny or interesting or fascinating, going on Instagram and starting a business from zero. That's unbelievable. I think that's great. And we look for people like that who we can work with. So for us, it's fantastic. People look at the negative aspect of these things. Everything has an up and a downside to it. You know, social media. Look, water is fantastic unless you're in the path of a tsunami, then it's not so fun. So everything has an upside and a downside. But the movie business and Instagram and all those things are fantastic. We also can now, part of the reason our book became #1 was because a lot of the models went on Instagram to promote it when it came out and are still doing that. And, you know, as I said, we're having an event, and please come at Zinke in Malibu on the 17th at 2:00 on Saturday. We're promoting it on Instagram. So there's a wealth of talent all over the world. That's what I was saying to you earlier. One of the good things about the movie business is Instagram and technology allows us to find people and distribute to people in parts of the world we formerly could not. You know, if you look at the continent of Africa, 5 of the 10 fastest growing economies are in Africa. I think more than half the population is incredibly young. We used to have a TV business in Africa. It's a fantastic opportunity, but no one's really focusing on it. We are, because now with a cell phone, just a good mobile phone, you can reach almost everybody everywhere in the world. There's something like 6 billion mobile phones in the world. So great. So it's a great time. The only problem is people don't think it is, but it is.
You know something that's I guess you got to change the perceptions out there.
Yes.
Supergiant Studios is the name of the studio if you want to get that documentary done.
Not a documentary, a narrative film. Not a documentary.
Narrative film. Sorry, narrative film.
Start.
Got to get it. I got to get it right. Yeah. So you can go on and get that one. Supergiant Studios. What's the website for that one, Larry?
Supergiantstudios.net. Pop on, leave your name. One of our guys will call you, and you'll be a movie star.
Beautiful. And the book is Malibu Blonde, and we've got the link right there, rsrlinks.com/Malibu, rsrlinks.com/Malibu, and you can get that book. I might have to go there just, you know, and I can't read, but I can look at pictures, so that might be a good one.
Come to the event on Saturday the 17th in Zinke, Malibu. It's great. Bring your beautiful wife.
You know, something I'll have to find out if I'm allowed to. I mean, I don't keep the calendar on the weekends, but, I get told where I'm going.
All right.
But we might show up there, Larry. You never know. Never know who might show up. I appreciate you coming on and sharing this with us. We look forward to you coming the next time when you've got the new movie coming out as well. And as always, we ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.